My name is Melanie Gideon. I'm from Belize. I work at the government's development agency called Beltrade, Belize Trade and Investment Development Service. I am responsible for all things enterprise and innovation at this agency.
Why did you came to this activity? What's your expectation?
My first experience with the ACE study tour was the third one when we visited the southern states of Georgia, South Carolina, and I think North Carolina. I attended that tour with my executive chair at the time, and it was because we were getting ready to expand our partnership with the University of Belize in regards to our SBDC and how we can encourage more entrepreneurship thinking in the private sector of the country. So that's why we had gone there. The direct result out of that was a brilliant second phase expansion of our SBDC. We are currently constructing our Belize Enterprise and Innovation Institute. That was a direct result of the inspiration coming out of that study tour. It was basically gave us idea how we could better partnership with the university, particularly with the students in regards to expanding their applicability of their business skill sets and their entrepreneurship skill sets within the expanded institute. It also allowed for us to be able to have a centralized location where all things entrepreneurship and innovation can reside. So that was a direct result out of our first interaction with the ACE tour. The reason I decided to come back for the fifth one was the same need to be further inspired. We do know that the incubators that we're visiting here are advanced in regards to the country of Belize, advanced incubators. But like the third tour, we expected to be inspired because they still operate in the same principle, whether it's advanced incubators or not. They still operate in the principle of how do you connect innovation to business ideas and to entrepreneurship. So that's the purpose of this, because we're happy to say we are going to be constructing the country's first 6 incubators. Out of those 6 incubators, we're going to be focusing on 3 industries: music, believe it or not, agro-processing, and all things ICT based. So again, we were trying to figure out what kind of models, because there are three different industries we're looking at, that we can be inspired again. What we've learned with our interaction with the ACE is how to be inspired and not necessarily how to adapt in its entirety. Because Belize, being an exceedingly small economy, being a very ethnically diverse society, it's how best we can be inspired by what's happening here and then design our own model based on that inspiration. So that's our objective for the 5th study tour. I always tell people, given my position at the organization, one of my primary tasks is problem solving. In the evolution of trying to establish an incubator, we will expand the impact of our SBDCs and our Export Belize, which deals with companies for the export market. We have a huge gap in the country when it comes to the mentoring system. How do we find appropriate long-term mentors for our clients, as well as how do we diversify the options for these companies or small startups in accessing capital, money. And so we're looking at the angel investor network in the country. The problem is the domestic market and business community is not well exposed to these 2 concepts. So what's the problem is, how do I still bring in these systems? And so I have some ideas using the local expats in the country, but I need assistance to look at how that can be developed. So like attending all these study tours or any international event, the impact comes from how well you use your network that you're exposed to when you're on these events. And Maurice is always a wonderful, and her team, a wonderful network. But then you have other countries that, maybe, again, you get inspired with your fellow colleagues in other countries. So that's one area as well. How do I have this problem? And so one of the objectives by the end of the week is how well I can problem solve that problem.